mail, my favorite time of the day. Oh boy, let's see what we have today. Dear Enviropals,
my name is Susan. I work in Great Smoky Mountains National Park, and I would like to tell you a little about the use of fire and its importance in helping to maintain the park's community of plants and animals, which, as you know, is called an ecosystem. For a long time, we thought fire only destroyed the habitats in which these species lived. But now we know that fire is an important part of the ecosystem. In fact, park managers have learned that fire is one of the natural processes that some plants and animals depend on. I would really like it if Ray Ray could visit us at Great Smoky Mountains National Park to learn more about the use of fire and its effects on the ecosystem.
Your friend, Susan.
You know, Ray Ray, that sounds like a great place to visit. I always look forward to learning more about our national parks.
It sounds like a really cool idea to be up in that crisp mountain air.
Great idea. Why don't you use
the green screen?
Okay, I'm off to explore the Great Smoky Mountain National Park with Susan.
That's great, Ray Ray. We'll stay here with Mr. Housetree and the kids and watch your adventure on the green screen.
I'll be back in a flash. Shabingo! Shabingo! Wow, look at this place. Susan, are you here?
Hey, Ray Ray.
Hi, Susan. Thank you so much for your tree mail.
This is my friend Dub from the Wildland Fire Module.
Hi, Ray Ray.
Hi, Dub. So, Susan, can you tell us a little bit about what the Wildland Fire Module is and what do they do?
Sure. The Wildland Fire Module is a group of firefighters. They travel around the southeast U.S. and help parks reintroduce fire to their ecosystems.
So, Susan, what is the difference between a controlled fire and a wildland fire?
That's a great question. A controlled fire is just that. We set controlled fires, which means we pre-plan them, we know how we're going to put them out, and we know how much they're going to burn.
Dub, how does some wildland fires start?
Well, Ray Ray, there are a couple of different ways that wildfires can start. One of them is a natural ignition by lightning during a thunderstorm, or they can be human-caused by somebody throwing a cigarette on the side of the road or playing with matches in their backyard.
Susan, Dub told us about wildland fires, but why do you start controlled fires here in the Smoky Mountains?
Well, that's a good question. A lot of people think fire is only bad, but we know now that it's really good. For a long time, we stopped setting fires in public lands. Since the 1930s, we tried to stop any fire that started. But over time, leaf litter and other debris built up in the forest and grasslands, so when a fire would start accidentally, it would burn really hot and out of control. So it's kind of like your room. When you don't clean it for a long time, you have clutter that builds up all over the floor. And fire in a forest is a way to clean out that clutter.
Susan, what types of plants depend on fire for regrowth?
Good question. A lot of plants depend on fire. Here in the Smokies, we have two main ecosystem types. So we have communities of pine and oak, and grassland communities as well, that we know evolved with fire. Specifically, and you can see these behind us here, we have Table Mountain pines growing on this hillside. And we know that fire was part of the Smokies ecosystem because these pines need the heat from the fire to melt the sap in the pine cones to release their seeds.
So, Dub, can you tell us a little bit about what it takes to make a controlled fire and what kind of tools do you use?
Absolutely, Ray Ray. Our controlled burns have a lot of planning that goes into making them happen ahead of time. A lot of people spend a lot of time putting in lines and using natural fuel breaks like creeks and rocks and things like that to make sure that the fire doesn't get out of control. And when we do a burn, we have a lot of specialized tools that we use. We use a drip torch to walk along and pour fuel on the ground and start little fires so that they can spread and burn a given area. We use hand tools such as a Pulaski, which has an axe on one end, which is very sharp, so you want to be careful around that, and a grub hoe on the other side, so you can put line in the ground very quickly down to mineral soil so that the fire can't creep past it. And we also, would you mind holding that? Thank you. We also use helicopters, and the helicopters will drop little ping pong balls that have chemicals in them that when dropped on the ground will cause little fires. That way we don't have to put people deep into the forest.
Well, guys, is there anything else you'd like to tell the kids at home about fires?
Sure. Remember that fire is very dangerous and should be left to professionals like us who have been trained to use it as a tool.
Wow, Susan and Dub, that sure was fun learning about the use of fire to maintain a healthy ecosystem. But it's getting late, and I have to get back to Naturia. I can't wait to tell my friends about the use of fire and how it helps to maintain a healthy ecosystem for our friends that live in the park. Okay, I better get going. Bye, Dub and Susan. See you next time. Shabingo!